Game on! Hello? Who goes there?
Hello. Hello. Check. Check. Oh. It's kind of crazy. Alright. That should be...
Jesus Christ.
Would I blow your eardrums out or something?
No. Some my co-healer
hey.
just got fucking blasted.
What's up, Becky?
After over 100 hours of bird prog, I finally killed that bitch.
Yeah? Grats, dude. Fuck
Wait,
yeah.
which one? 4 or 3?
4 is a bird?
3.
Where's a vampire?
Oh, you said the bird. I didn't hear you.
Who said bird frog?
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
Oh.
Finally found a party finder group that could competently not die to fucking ads or FOF or Elmo or any of the stupid mechanics that exist in that fight.
Uh-oh, we just wiped.
No one got on the thing eating.
I was trying to get on the thingy ding. I was fighting him.
I didn't get any loot, but I got a book, so that's all I care about.
Hey, that works.
Nice. Yeah, dick! Okay, he did, but fine, I'm alive.
I know, like, you have positionals and shit, but fucking fight him from the front.
I don't have positionals at all. And there are no positionals on the boss.
Because his tail is swipey.
It's not always the case.
Yeah, y'all are getting hit by his fucking ass.
True.
Ow, and I have burns now? That's ass.
Boom. He's charging.
Where you at? Here, have a thing. You were out of that. That's awkward. Come here. I can't even tell what the music is right now because all I hear is
So these two
stuttering.
orbs back here are
Good
going to be
times.
baited to the tanks. These orbs
Well,
over
it's
here
monster
are going to be baited to the DPS.
What
These
the-
orbs over here are going to be baited to... Oh my fucking god. What am I drawing?
Oh, please don't kill me.
This is the fourth circle. I actually thought this turn wasn't too bad.
I don't remember what you're supposed to do on top of the Rathalos.
So like he does a lot of stuff from normal mode.
So I'm gonna attack this guy instead.
But obviously it's like not telegraphed
Nope.
and stuff, you know?
Kill the ad, kill the ad, kill
And
the ad!
yes, this is a door boss. I have people ask me
Or
all the
not.
time, what is a door boss? It's just the boss before the real boss. There's
No.
always a checkpoint after the
Oh,
boss.
someone's up there, we're good.
So anyway, this fucking thing here, what is this? Decoloration, whatever that
Yeah.
means. That's just a raid AoE.
Bing, 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 bong.
Nope, Tori, what are you doing?
That's just basic raid
Oh,
AoE.
fuck.
His other side, not his.
My
I
blood
don't know. I
drain.
don't know what I was
Oh,
thinking.
you can respawn, though.
He's like sucking the DPS blood. You see?
You can respawn?
Yeah, you don't have to get red.
How do I respawn?
By respawning.
It should say return to beginning.
It does not.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch this
Or,
P4S
not in your bottom
video.
right screen, Tori.
See Arthur's over here? Okay, his Sparrows is a thirsty motherfucker. See him sucking Arthur's waifu? Now this Blood Drake, it could target the tanks or healers, okay? Now, whenever he does this, there's gonna be like tethers, and there's gonna be a debuff it's like a passable debuff. Like when you go into this fight, the very first thing he's gonna do is this called Blood Drake. And there's gonna be 2 responsibilities. It's based on role. Tanks and healers and DPS, one of those roles is gonna have to grab a tether, and one of those roles is gonna have to get that debuff. So you wanna have your party set up like this. You wanna have a tank there, a tank here, a healer here, a healer there, and then you want to have like melee, ranged, range. And the reason why you want to have it set up like this is to make it really easy for you to grab tethers and debuffs. So I'll explain that part in a second. When you come into the mechanic, think about it like this. All you have to know is that you are responsible for both of them. And if he does Blood Rake on your roll, then he removes that responsibility from you. In this case right here, you go in with the mentality, okay, I have to not only grab the tether, but also get the debuff. You always go in with the mentality. However, since he did Blood Drake on the DPS, that means he removes that responsibility from you. So now, the DPS, they don't have to get the tether. Okay, so let's see who he does Blood Rake on the second time. Now you see how he did Blood Rake on the tanks and healers. So now he's gonna do this, Director's Balone, and this is gonna be that debuff. How it works is the first time he does the tanks and healers, so now he's gonna do this, Director's Balone, and this is gonna basically mean, this is gonna be the debuff. So you see this debuff right here? See that debuff? How it works is the first time he does Blood Drake, he's removing that responsibility from the person. So like if you watch. Okay. Because he removed that responsibility from the tanks and healers, that means the DPS had to grab it. So when he did Blood Rake first, he did it on the DPS. So that means that the tanks and healers have to grab the tether. And then he did Blood Rake on the tank and healers. So that means that the DPS have to grab the debuff. Now he can do it both on the same person. So like there'll be some times where he'll Blood Rake the tanks and healers twice in a row. That means the DPS do everything. They have to grab the debuff off of the tank and healer and also grab the tether. And the same thing can happen for tanks and healers. So you just have to remember that the first Blood Drake goes along with the tether and the second Blood Drake goes with the debuff. Here, we can watch it again real quick. So this Blood Drake, it goes with the tether. So because he Blood Draked the DPS here, that means the DPS can't take the tethers. He's removing the tether responsibility from the DPS. So they don't have to worry about the tether. And then he does this, which I'll be honest, I have no fucking idea what that is. I think it just changed this buff. I don't know, man. Dude, I don't fucking know what it means. Okay, Blood Rake. He did it the second time. Honestly, you don't even need to fucking know what that means. I hovered over it like twice when we first like got here, and I was like, wait, this actually doesn't mean anything, because the only thing you have to look at is the Blood Rake. That's it. So he did Blood Rake on the second time, so that means he was removing the responsibility of the debuff from the tank and healers, right? So this configuration, the DPS have to get the roll call, the tank and healers have to get the tether. So this Director's Balone, that sends out the debuff, right? That sends out the roll call. So like if you watch my buff here, so here's my buff now. So a DPS has to come grab this. Now I'm jumping to indicate that I fucking have that shit. Now, this is why it's important that you set your party up like this. Basically, you set it up like this so that there's no confusion. Let's say that the debuff is right there and right here. He always puts the debuff on 2 tank and healers and like 2 DPS. So let's say that the other 2 debuffs are like that and that. You want to set it up like this so it's very easy to get the buff. This person right here will always grab the debuff that is all the way over here. So this person's gonna come and grab this one, and this person's gonna come and grab this one. Let's say it's like this. Okay, well this person, you know, is gonna grab that. This person's gonna come up here and grab that. So this is how this Blood Drake works, okay? And it's also important to note, in this situation, the DPS needed to get the debuff, and the tank and healers needed to get the tether. This guy came over here and grabbed that. This guy came up here and grabbed that. Now, this is like really important. After you get your debuff, you can actually all stack on top of each other. So there's the tether. So if you stack up like this, then that means that the tethers all are in one place. Because if you don't stack up, the tethers can be like all over the place. You can have like one here, one here, one here, and one here. You know what I mean? So you got a tether here and a tether here. tether here, and a tether here. So what happens is, what if this guy comes in and grabs a tether, right? And then this guy comes in and grabs a tether. Maybe it's like this. Maybe this guy's slow, so when this guy moves out, the tether actually ends up on this guy because he fucking takes it, you know what I mean? Okay, so you don't want any tether fiascos. Whenever you resolve your debuffs, right, you need to stack on top of each other like this to make it super easy. Like, let's say the DPS had to do everything. Okay, well then they go get their rot. And after they got their rot, the tanks and healers would just stack up. And then all the DPS would come like right here. It's very important that everyone stacks up like this so that all the tethers go on the right players. You know what I mean? Because let me tell you, man, I can already see this being a fucking issue in Party Finder where people run across each other with the wrong debuff and shit. All right, so let's watch it again. I think I'm too dumb for this. Seems good. The tethers are very slippery. Yeah, it's like someone dipped those tethers in butter. Very slippery. Okay? Trying to grab a fish out of water. Okay? Alright, now watch. The DPS, he's gonna do Director's Balloon. Okay? No, it's not always for DPS. No. Alright, now you see how the DPS are stacked up here? So the DPS here, they came down here to grab the debuff, and then they went back here to stack up. Now they're all stacked up here. Now the tanks and healers were stacked up right here. So that means that this thing here, inversive, whatever this is, clammies, whatever, inversive clammies, that's the tether. So all of the tethers are gonna be like this. And they're automatically gonna go on the tank and healers. So that's why you do that, it's very important. See how easy that was? And you just spread out. Spread them. Okay? Alright, then just another raid AoE. This right here is a tank buster. I just home gang this because warriors are badass and they can get 2 of their invuln off. But if you're playing an inferior tank that's a non-warrior tank, you know, you might have to tank swap it or something, okay? This is a multi-hit buster. It's a 2-hit. The first hit puts a vuln. The second hit is just another hard-hitting hit. Now you see the vuln? If you're a warrior, you don't have to care about that. You can invuln with the other tanks. I'm just mean. Okay, so we do a tank swap here. We do a tank swap here for 2 reasons. One, Nova wants to grief the party by using Living Dead on the second tank buster, on the next tank buster. Okay, that's the first reason. The second reason is because she's jealous that I am having all the attention of the vampire sexy man. So those are the 2 reasons why we vote. We do a tank swap there. Now, he's gonna use setting the scene or whatever. Now these are different platforms, obviously. This is just like in normal mode. This is water, which means it's going to be a knockback from the center. It's going to knock back in every direction. That's water, just like in normal mode. This one right here is the lava or the fire, and it's 2 party stacks. And both of the stacks go on each healer. That's why we got a 1 right there and a 2 right here. When we do this mechanic, we have this whole like process where we have one group go to this side, one group go to that side. No. That doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that fucking marker. Because I don't give a shit where we're supposed to be. I go where the marker is. There's a big fucking difference. You need to mark your healers, 1 and 2. You don't go where you're supposed to be. You go where this fucking marker is, okay? Now this one right here, this is lightning. Lightning is a massive explosion based on the center of the arena. It's a proximity based. The closer you are to the center of the arena, the more damage it's going to do. Now you need to peel off. You need to go all the way to the wall. Unless you're a warrior. If you're a warrior, you can pop all your cooldowns because you have so many of them, and you can just stand like, you can stand max melee and you can just tank that shit like a fucking man. You don't need to fuck off like a pussy. You'll see me do that. And then this last one here, this last one is probably the hardest. And this is a spread. I say this is the hardest for 2 reasons. 1, because for some fucking reason people don't like to spread out. But 2, the delay on this spread is insane. It's like a 5-second delay. Basically, he's gonna combine 2 of these, right? He always starts with either water or lightning. He always starts with one of them. So let's say that it's knockback into spread. Well, after he does a knockback, the spread takes so long that you can forget that it's gonna happen. You'll know what I'm talking about when you do this, or if you've done it, then you probably already know. This is a debate. Okay, so anyway, so those are the different platforms. All right, now he's gonna do Peanuts.
I landed 3 kids all up into me and just killed them. Like, it wasn't
Okay,
possible.
now when he does Peanuts, okay, it's either gonna be this one first or this one. The other element that he will do will always be either right there or right there. It will never be a lightning into a water. So if he does water first, it'll either be right here or right here. And this is good to know for orientation, which I'll get into that in a little bit. So he does lightning, and then it's either gonna be, okay, so lightning and spread. Okay, now, you see how I move my character? Now this is important, okay? Because whenever you're doing this fight, it can be very easy to be disoriented, like not know where north is, not know what group you're supposed to be in. So what we did at the start was we designated 1 and 2. One group would always be on one side and the other group would always be on another side. And it would always be based on the 2 panels. So if you notice, my camera is facing here because I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do, right? So it's like, okay, he does lightning. Okay, boom. All right, right when I see that he does lightning, I reposition myself. And the reason why I do is because it's either gonna be these 2 or it's gonna be these 2. You don't have to do this, but I'm telling you it'll help you. And the reason why it will is because if he does the spread, like let's say you have the group set up like we do, right? So you always have the 2 group over here and the 1 group over here. Well, this grouping is based on the 2 panels that are activated. So like it would be like this in this case. Or let's say that this one down here is activated. Okay, so then 2 would be here and 1 would be here. Okay, so now these 2 are active. So that means that to get the most amount of space that you need to spread, you're gonna have to go like away from here, or you need to go over here. Do not go over here. And the reason why you don't want to go over here is because you can't be on the platform when it goes off. If you're on the platform when it goes off, you're just dead. And the reason why it's good to go over here is because you can actually go into the platform for the spread. So let's say that you go this way. You have cut yourself off of an entire quadrant because you can't spread out up here, because you can't be on this platform when it goes out. That's why if you're gonna move out, you wanna move out like over there, or like over here, or over here. Let's say that I move right here. Well, after the lightning goes off, for the spread, I can actually move right here. I can go back into the lightning, so it'll give more people down here space. All right, now look. Now remember, I said I line myself up, okay? Remember, this is get the fuck out of middle and spread. So I go over here, I'm max melee. What you're gonna see is what we like to call greed. Do not do this, okay? I do it because I greed responsibly. Okay, now this lightning went off. Now this spread is gonna go off. Now you notice how I was right here, and instead of spreading out over there or spreading right here, I actually go into the old danger zone. This gives all this space over here for people to spread, okay? So it's really important. So pretty much,
There's only like 30 people.
okay, so we have to fuck off for the lightning. I fuck off for the lightning. Okay, now it's a spread. Now look how delayed, okay, well, I guess that one wasn't. It feels more delayed on the second one, but anyway. So you see how there's more space, right? So basically, I knew this melee was gonna go in. Man, look, I'm sorry I keep talking about this movement, but it's just very, very important because, dude, it's very easy to kill each other with these spreads, man. It really is, okay? Be careful when you do this. Like, if you're trying to get uptime and shit, which, yeah, it's fine, it's cool and all, but you can easily kill somebody if you do this. By me moving over here, I give space to the melee, okay? So now we go this way, and I think Nar comes in a little bit over here to give Arthur's more space. These 2 might kill each other, I don't know. It looks pretty close to me. Okay, Now, because if he does the spread, like let's say you have, well, this grouping to go over here is going to move out like over green. Do not do this. Talking about this movement, but it's just two that are left. And the only two that are left, who heal out. Now after those two are done, so now there's a tank here, a melee here, another melee here, and then I actually continue to go this way, and I think Nar comes in a little bit over here to give Arthur's more space. These two might kill each other, I don't know. It looks pretty close to me. Okay. Now after those two are done, he will always do the only two that are left. And the only two that are left is get knocked back and the two healer stacks, the groups. Now this is the one where you have to go to a specific side of the arena. It's based on this move here, Southernly Shift. All right, now on each cardinal, there's gonna be this doodad, okay? Okay, now you see these doodads? See that thing there? All right, that's a debate. You can kind of ignore this thing. The only thing that matters is the name of this cast right there. It's gonna be Southernly, Western, Eastern, or Northernly, or whatever. Wherever the shift is, that means that he's gonna go this way. So if you look at the mini map right here, C is south. So he's going south. There's a south shift. There's gonna be a knockback, and you can use the knockback as a way to get there. I would recommend just moving and popping Surecast. But while he does this, either one of two things is going to happen. If you see his cape, it's glowing. The other thing he can do is his sword. His sword can glow. So whichever one is glowing means that he's going to do it at whatever shift. So in this case, it's going to be a southern shift. So he's going to go here, and then he's going to do a cape. There's going to be four things that happen. First off, there's going to be a water knockback from here. After that happens, there's going to be a cape. Now, if you remember what the cape did in normal mode, it was also a knockback. So basically, it's going to be a knockback into another knockback, and you can prevent all of this. I think I remember, if you want to prevent all of it, I think I remember Chet saying he uses his Surecast like right here. I think that's where you use it, and it covers it. Okay, so there's going to be a knockback into a cape, because the cape knocks back. And then after that, there's going to be a delayed second element. And in this case, the delayed second element is the stack. Now see, again, if you're a non-warrior, you have to worry about all this shit. As a warrior, you just use inner release and fuck all that garbage, okay? You just inner release your way through this mechanic. This mechanic doesn't exist for a warrior. If you're a warrior, you're too strong. This mechanic doesn't exist. So there's the knockback. There's another knockback. You see all these people getting flown around and shit? You know, okay, now here's what's really important, okay? Here's your stacks. See how we got the 1 and the 2. Remember, this is a delayed stack. Look how delayed this shit is, man. Here, watch. We'll watch the whole fucking mechanic again. All right, watch. Water. Cape. Look at the stack. It still hasn't happened. Now that can be a stack or a spread, okay? All right, now here's the other tank buster. Here's this Dark Knight griefing the healers with Living Dead. Heal me, oh my God. I'm in a grave, heal me, oh my God. Okay, all right. Now, he's gonna do Blood Rake again, and he's going to Blood Rake every panel except for one. So if you look, he's going to tether there and this panel down here, but he's not going to tether this one. That will come in handy later. And the reason why is because there's going to be a time where he detonates every platform all at the same time, and you need to know the one that is not Blood Raked. So that's why you need to know.
No one's landing the ball.
Blood Rake this, Mr. Vampire. All right. Now he does setting the scene again. He's just going to put the elements on the same, or on the field again, and all the elements do the same thing. So this part has orbs. All right, if you look at these debuffs. Okay, now the tanks and healers will always get DPS. All this debuff means is that you have to grab that orb. So like the DPS, they can get either tank or healer. So you have a group here, a group here, a group here, and a group here. You have tanks here, DPS, DPS, and healer. And the reason why is because the orbs are baited on the closest person, right? So these 2 orbs back here are going to be baited to the tanks. These orbs over here are going to be baited to the DPS. These orbs over here are going to be baited to... Oh my fucking god. What am I drawing? Fuck me, dude. Okay, anyway. So this is what your group should look like, okay? So the orbs are going to be like this, okay? And the tethers are going to be like... this. So, like I said earlier, remember, if you look at these debuffs, right, the DPS get random if it's either healer or tank. Because the orbs that are going to be tethered to a tank are up here, you want the tank DPS to be over here, because what's going to happen is these 2 DPS are going to pop that orb and then move to this orb. The tanks are going to pop this DPS orb and then this one. And these DPS are going to pop the healer one and then the next one. And then the healers, they're going to pop the DPS one and then this one. So basically that's what's going to happen. So he's going to do Balloon Burst. All this does is summon the orbs. Alright, now look, you see this tether? See this orb? Tether to a DPS? Okay, that means the DPS can't pop that shit. You see this thing right here? It says no sword. That means the DPS can't pop that.
It's not actually crazy.
You don't have to go super fast. Can you pop 2 orbs or just 1 for the mechanic? No, you have to pop 2. And ideally you wait for a heal like in between because they do quite a bit of damage. Also the Blood Drake does quite a bit of damage too. So it all adds up. So like I use Shake here. So like the first pop, Mies took half his health. You don't have to grab the orbs ridiculously fast. Like you grab one and then you kind of wait, maybe a GCD or 2, and then you grab the next one. So this mechanic's, you know, relatively simple. Just don't pop too fast. You know, if you try to pop, so if you notice, man, you get this debuff right here. This is called Thrice Come Ruin. If you get 3 stacks of this, you die instantly. So you can't have like one guy put Pega around everything. Okay, so this move right here, Periactyl. This is the move that blows up the platform. How many people remember what platform was gonna blow up? Yo, you forgot? Yeah, you're dead as shit. That's a good goddamn pull. Polls up, boys. Come on, let's vote. This is a 2,500 viewer raid group. Oh, people are voting fire. I think people are voting fire just because it happened to be the highest. Oh, we got some water, got some poison, electric. Yeah, you guys didn't know there was a pop quiz. I didn't know there was a pop quiz. Fire's the winner. Let's see, are we alive? Are we alive? Let's see. Roll the footage. Woo! Okay. All right. Now here's another Blood Rake. Remember, Blood Rake does damage. Okay. This is Balloon Coils. Okay, now these towers, they will have either this or they will have a shield and a healer. So basically, these towers need to be grabbed by all DPS or all tanks and healers. So these are pretty easy. Now, when he does inversive clammies, now these are the tethers. The people that get the towers, the other people get the tethers, okay? Now, it's very important to remember who got the tethers, okay? Oh my. Green God? Look at this, dude. Look how close this is. My character's like right there. Literally insane. That's a green gun. Okay, so remember, it's just towers. The opposite roll gets the tethers. Now, it's very important. Whoever grabs the tethers here is going to grab the tethers later. So remember, tethers are tethers, okay? Trust me, it'll make sense later. Tethers are tethers, okay?
Why this is hard breathing, bro?
All right, now he's going to do this shit again. Okay, he's going to do another Blood Rake. Then he's going to do another set of towers. Oh, wait a minute. My stream stutter. All right. Now, right after those towers, he's going to do another of this rot stuff. Whoever grabs these towers, the opposite roll grabs the rot, which is the roll call. Remember the stuff from the beginning? Okay, so immediately after these towers, you line up in your position. Okay?
What did I do to you?
So you line up.
What did I do, bro?
Now,
It's
because the
Jackson,
tanks
wait.
and healers, they got the towers, the DPS are coming for the rot. He's going to do the tethers next. Who's going to grab the tethers? Is it going to be tanks or is it going to be DPS? DPS, because tethers are tethers. Okay, let's see. Now you see how we line up? Okay, so in this configuration, the DPS had to do everything. Thank fucking God. I play a fucking warrior. I don't want to have any responsibility. All right? Okay, now one more time. You can pretty much think of it like this. You're guaranteed to do something, okay? You have to do something. So if you grab a tower, then you're not doing the other thing, okay? So because this case where the tanks had to grab the towers, okay? They're not doing the tethers. And then tanks and healers got the towers again, which meant DPS are gonna get the rot. They'll get the debuff. Okay. Easy. Okay. This is just more raid AoE. I don't know what he does next. I can't remember. I don't fucking know. Oh yeah, another tank buster. Okay, now see here's where warrior is good. This tank buster just doesn't even exist for warrior. So you know it's just another reason why warrior is the best. Same warrior simping. All right, and then the fight just pretty much repeats, honestly. I mean, after that, the fight's pretty much it just does a repeat of the first phase. I believe he does the opposite of what he did in the first phase. So like what did he do in the first phase? I think he did. It's gonna be water, right? Okay, I guess not. Okay, so this is lightning. So you guys remember? So this is lightning and spread. Remember when I said to not go on this side of the platform? Well, I did it, but I did it in this video because I knew that I was gonna make a guide on this video and I wanted to demonstrate to you what not to do, okay? Wait, why the fuck am I running out? What the fuck is wrong with me? Well, that was embarrassing. Let's not talk about that. Okay, now, no. This is good. Okay, remember in the last one was cape. His cape was glowing. But in this one, his sword is glowing. So what that means is that this is southerly shift again, okay? So that means he's gonna come down here because this is south. And the sword, this is in normal mode. It's a fucking cleave that's like this. It's like this big ass cleave. So what you have to do is you have to get like right here or right here. Now in this configuration, this is gonna be a knockback into a sword into party stacks, okay? So knockback. I like how dude, okay. Well, that green kind of made up for it, okay. So knockback into sword into 2 party stacks. Now I just leave the boss here. It's just raid AoE. I just leave the boss here
Yeah, I died for the same
because
thing
he just basically spams this. He doesn't do any more mechanics.
Yeah.
Like the fight's almost over. What's the enrage on this fight? Like 711 or something. You need to get the boss's HP to 49.9. So he's at 52 right here. Okay. I can't remember what the exact kill time is, but it's like really close to around this time. I think it's like 711 or something. For some reason I keep remembering 711, but
He was also
it's not.
chasing some random kid.
So he does, yeah, he does like 2, and when you do it, he says, do not believe victory is yours. If you don't do it, he shit talks you. If you get offended, don't worry, you can probably report him, so. Oh God, this is it, dude. Wait.
No corner of warrior.
All right, so yeah, so that's the door boss. I thought it was fun. Nothing in it was too bad.
I see, yeah.
You move clockwise one position, and then you ask yourself, am I dark, am I blue? If I'm dark, I'm going back. If I'm blue, I'm going for a swing.
You can farm all those stairs.
After you kill the door boss, you get this guy.
That table gives you like 4.
I think that this boss, this guy, he's not bad. The DPS check for it is not bad, and the mechanics themselves, execution-wise, are not bad. There's, in my opinion, the hardest mechanics are at the very end of the fight. I could be wrong. I'm just getting the feeling that Party Finder will probably struggle with the end of the fight more so than the first part. But anyway, yeah, so fight this guy. Searing Stream is just basic raid-wide AoE. I will say this, the mechanics look really fucking cool, at least. I really like the aesthetic of this turn. Okay, holy shit. Whoa! Whoa! Now obviously this looks like a fucking disaster. But basically there's 8 towers here, and there's 4 AoEs. This is really easy, okay? This might look really overwhelming, but it's not. Alright, so all of these like thorns here, they indicate the mechanic. So if you remember, this was an AoE. This was a tower, this was a tower, this was a tower, you know, this was a tower. So the towers were in an X formation, and the AoEs were on the cardinals, okay? So basically, he's gonna show you what mechanic goes off first, okay? So basically, he shows you all the mechanics. Then he's gonna show you which one's gonna go off first, all right? So he's going to tether the north and south. The boss is going to tether this AoE and this AoE. So what the party is going to have to do is the party stacks here first. If you look at these AoEs, right, they're like this, okay? So the only safe spot is like right here and right here. You just have to get on the sides. Now that's because he tethers these first. After he tethers either north or south and east and west, he's going to tether the towers. So then he'll tether to the towers. And then he'll tether the opposite. So in this case, he tethered north and south first. So he's going to tether the east and west second. So you have different people getting towers, right? So obviously the tanks will grab these 2 towers. Melee can grab like these 2 towers. And you have the ranged. And you have the healers, okay? Now before this goes off, you know, he tethered the north and south. So you're going to stack like this, okay? Then after you stack like that, he's going to tether the towers. So then you're going to break off, after the AoE up here goes off, you're going to break off here, 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 and here. Then after you take your tower, you're going to stack like this. Because the sides are going to go off, okay? So it's really easy. It's a really, really easy movement. He's going to show you what the mechanic is, and then he's going to tell you the order of mechanics. So it goes north-south. So we're on the sides. So that's going to blow up. Get the towers. And then east-west. That's it. That's all you do. That's it. All right. Now, he's going to do near sight or far sight. And these are tank busters. If it's near sight, it hits the closest 2 people to him. So that's why you have people like max melee, and you have the range like all the way out here, and you have the tank inside the hitbox, okay? So near sight means you need to be close to him because he's going to blow the 2 closest people up. The other alternative is far sight, which you have the whole party go in the hitbox and the tanks go max melee. So that's how that works.
How do you invite people?
Holy shit! Is near sight damage shared? No, it's just 2 explosions on both the proximity-based people. Look at Chet, dude. Look at this AoE. You know what Chet was doing? He was glaring. All right, anyway, he didn't give a shit that I was right there. Holy shit, what a legend. All right. Okay. Now this one is a little different, okay? Now this is one of the harder ones. Act 2. So that first one was Act 1, this was Act 2. Now I know this looks like a fucking mess, but basically he's gonna activate 2 of the towers and like 2 of the AoEs. So if you look, you can see a tower right here. And on this side right here, there's this big ass AoE, okay? All right, well, the AoE actually cuts into the tower a little bit. So it's really important to get your markers set up how we have our markers. If you look right here, you see how this A is not directly north, but it's to the west a little bit? It's very important that you do that, because if you put the A like directly north, then you'll miss the tower. So it has to be a little bit over here. Like whenever I do this part, I don't even look at the towers actually, I just look at the marker. All right, but basically how this is gonna work is he's gonna tether to the AoEs and the towers. He'll never do a tower and an AoE right next to each other. He'll do like an AoE over here, so this is an AoE, and then he'll do like AoE on these sides and towers on these sides, okay? Now it's random when he does it, or it can flip, so sometimes he can do the reverse. He can tether the tower on the east and west first and the AoEs north and south. So basically you should have like a person in the group call out if the safe spots are north and south or east and west, or you can just use your fucking eyeballs. This is how personally I tell. The only thing I look at is this tether right here. If the tether is to my right, then I know it's north-south. Those are the safe spots. If the tether is to my left, then I think to myself, okay, the tether's to my left, I have to move left. The safe spot is east and west. That's just how I think about it. You can think about it however you want.
Break this like.
Okay, now this thing right here, this demigod double, that's a tank buster you have to stack. But again, if you got a big dick and a big axe, okay, and you're a fucking warrior main, then you don't need to worry about this bullshit. You just home gang and forget. Home gang that shit and forget about it. That's it. Tank buster, whatever. More like home gang, bitch. All right, so that tank buster did 200,000, so I'm gonna assume that's a split. Okay. All right, now, remember what I said about the tethers. If it tethers to this thorn here, that means the safe spot is south and north, okay? But the tether is right here, so that means that the safe spot is east and west. Now, I'm gonna move my character in position. Whenever you do this mechanic, it's very, very important to not get disoriented, okay? Everyone has a different way of making sure your orientation is good. I'll just tell you mine. You can do it, you can not do it. Maybe you'll find it helpful. I basically position my camera the exact same way regardless of the mechanic, so that my movement is the exact same. So if I have to move east to west, it's literally the same keystrokes, meaning that it's W and S. So right when I see that the safe spot is east and west, I immediately move my character in the same position, okay? I'm in the same position over here as I was right there. My viewpoint is identical from what it was, and I recommend everybody do this. This will help you with this mechanic. This will eliminate multiple lines of thinking, like as far as your orientation of the room. Okay, now he's gonna do Wreath of Thorns, okay? Now, this is one of the harder ones. The discovery of this mechanic was harder than the others. So if you look right here, this is a fire, okay? Now, if you can see this thing up here, this green thing, that's the wind, and then you can't see it in this perspective, but there's 3 different types of tethers. There's a dark tether, which is like a purple, which basically looks exactly like this, except for it's dark. You have this one, you have the wind, those are the 3. You're gonna have 2 DPS with the wind, 2 DPS with the fire. A healer with dark is gonna be tethered to a tank without anything, and then you're gonna have a tank and a healer tethered with fire. Basically, whenever you separate, you stretch these tethers, and when you stretch the tether, it detonates the element that you have. The goal of the fire is it's like a share, right? Fire is like a stack. You can think of it like the fire in E11 if you did that. The wind basically completes itself. They just stay together the whole time. The dark tether, when you detonate it, which you detonate it immediately, it puts a magic bolt on everybody for 1 second. That mechanic will show up later in the fight. But for right now, you just detonate it right away. I'm just gonna tell you what you need to do, and then I'll explain it. If you don't care for the reasoning, you can just skip over this shit. And if all you care about is what you have to do, then that's fine too. But this is what you have to do. TLDR, the safe spot is east and west. The healer with dark needs to go down right here, and the tank needs to go up here. By doing this, you stretch this dark tether, and when it explodes, it's gonna hit everybody and put a magic bolt for 1 second. Now you need to do it right away. Everything in this phase is like magic damage, okay? So these towers are lightning, the fire is fire, the wind is wind, So you stretch out the dark tether and you break it immediately. After you do that, you need to have the group stacked up here because the boss is going to do these AoEs, okay? So let me show you. So right when I see what tether I got, the only two people that should be outside of the boss's hitbox is the healer with the dark tether, which is right here. See this dark sign? Okay, the tank is gonna run down here and they're gonna break it immediately. Those are the only two people that need to be outside of the boss's hitbox because he's gonna do this ability called Dark Design and all it does is put AoEs down. It's basically just baited AoE, so this is a debate. You can't pre-position because if you pre-position, you'll get an AoE on you and you'll have to move out of position. So it's better just to bait all this shit, to bait all these AoEs. You see all these AoEs that just came out? So like I said, I'm just gonna tell you what you have to do and then I'll explain why later. So everyone stacks into the boss's hitbox except for the dark healer and the tank. You bait out the AoEs. After the AoEs, then you move into position. The position that you're gonna move into looks like this. This is the dark tank, so they're gonna take this tower, and the dark healer is gonna take the tower. The tank is gonna be tethered to the healer, and they have fire. There's gonna be 2 DPS that have wind and 2 DPS that have fire. So you need to separate. The 2 DPS with wind are always gonna go with the healer. Basically, you have 2 groups. You have a north and east group, and you have a south and west group, okay? These are the windy boys. You have the tank run down here, and you have the healer run up here. What this is gonna do is this is gonna break the fire tether, and it's gonna explode. And the people you're gonna share it with are the other 2 fire tether people, which is the DPS, and the 2 wind people down here. After you do that, the second AoEs are gonna blow up, okay? And you have to take this tower, and you have to also dodge these 2 AoEs. This is what we did. You could probably do it another way, but I'm just gonna tell you what we did. We had this group move up here, okay? So these are the 2 wind guys, and then this is the healer with dark. And then the tank actually goes counterclockwise. This fire tank goes counterclockwise, and this fire DPS goes counterclockwise. And the reason why you do that is so that you can break this fire tether and share. Now I know that was like really confusing, but I promise it's really easy on execution. So let's watch the VOD. You break every tether except for the wind. Yes. You break every tether except for the wind. So I got the fire, okay? And I'm tethered to a healer. So I'm gonna run. I'm gonna break my fire tether first. Okay, so these 2 DPS with me, they're the wind. All right? Okay, now this tower just went off. All right, there's a lot of shit right here. This was the fire explosion that I just broke. And this right here, this arrow, this is the tower. Now, this is the fire healer. Me and Bach were tethered together, but we already broke our tether. So now Bach's gonna grab this tower. And right here is a safe zone. Narlock and another DPS have the fire tether. And Nova and Chet have the dark tether, but they already broke it at the very start. So Nova grabbed the first tower. Nova's gonna come up here with me and Nar, and all 3 of us are gonna share the fire while Bach grabs the tower. And they're gonna do the exact same thing, but on the opposite side. Okay, we're a little greedy there, a little greedy. It's fine, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, and that's it. So one more time. One more time from the start. Okay? Just one more time from the start. East and west is safe. All right? Now I ask myself this question. I position myself max melee because I can only get one of 2 things, okay? So like I said, if you play DPS, if you play tank, you can only get like one of 2 things. So if you're DPS, you're only gonna get fire or wind. If you're a tank, you're either gonna get fire or dark. So because I know that, I position myself max melee so that I can just stand there and let the healer run and break the tether and it'll go off. If I have fire, I just move into the boss, okay? That's what I ask myself. I'm asking myself, you know, okay, what tether am I gonna get? Okay, cool, fire. I'm going into the boss. Nova goes out to break. Tether breaks. AoEs go out. Because I'm fire, I move to the safe zone, away from the tower. The wind DPS stack with me. Because I separated with the healer, we broke our fire tether. And then I go counterclockwise. The 2 DPS that are tethered together, one of them needs to go counterclockwise while one of them goes clockwise because you need to break the fire tether like you did with the tank and healer. So then you meet up, and then you just break that, you get those 2 towers, and then boom, the mechanic's over. So after all that garbage, Ultimate Impulse. It's just a raid AoE, but it does high damage. So make sure to mitigate, you know? Now, this is Act 3. This one's pretty easy. This one's pretty easy. Everybody has a job, okay? Now this one, all right, it's really important because you can get full uptime on this, even though the boss jumps back and forth. Okay, if you look at what's gonna happen, okay, so he's showing you what's gonna happen. So there's gonna be a knockback at some point, and there's gonna be 8 towers. So this kind of looks like Heaven's Fall. So there's 4 towers on this side and 4 towers on this side. So basically you just need to grab all these towers. But while you need to grab all those towers, the boss is he's gonna do mechanics, okay? Now this is also random which side he tethers to, but it doesn't really change much. Okay, so he tethers to this side first. So whatever side he tethers to first, that's gonna be the range side, okay? Because that means that those AoEs are going off first. So he tethers one side and then he tethers another, all right? He also tethered the middle second, okay. It's gonna look something like this. So you have a range side, you have a melee side. Based on what he tethers first, you already know what side you're gonna be on, right? So you can pick your spots like at the beginning of the, you know, the instance or whatever. During this time, he's gonna do 2 things. He's gonna do a super jump, which he's going to target the farthest person from him and kick them and knock everyone back that's around that person. And he's gonna do it twice. And after he kicks you, he's gonna send out 3 earth shakers. The person that got kicked, they have a bowl. Okay, you see how Nova is the farthest person away. So the boss is gonna kick, and everything around the boss is gonna get knocked the fuck into the spikes, okay? So you don't want that. So I do a GCD, and then I peel off, and then after the boss kicks up here, I then go back and DPS. So he's gonna kick. After the kick, whoever baits the kick has to run through the boss behind. And then you have people baiting the earth shakers. So, like, because my tower's here, I'm just gonna grab this earth shaker. You can have the person that has that tower, you bait the earth shaker into the wall, and then the person that has this tower right here, you bait the earth shaker down there. So there's gonna be 3 earth shakers, and the earth shakers are targeted by the closest people. So boom. All right, during that earth shaker, the towers on the other side go off, okay? See right here? So the earth shaker goes off at the same time as the towers. So that's why the range, they take the first set of towers. If you have melee take the first set of towers, then you're over there standing there with your, like, your dick in your hand, you know what I mean? Okay, after that, after the earth shaker, you pop your anti-knockback, okay? Pop this, because right after the earth shaker, there's like a 2-second window where, remember the water, it's gonna knock everything back, okay? There's gonna be a knockback. You can anti-knockback this. So you wanna pop your anti-knockback and stay in the tower so you can keep full uptime. Now, right after this, the boss is gonna do another kick, okay? He's gonna do another kick. Now you see that shit? Over on the other side, after you grab the tower, you want to have the person baiting the kick already in position. And it's the farthest player. So like Chet right here, he's going to move up a little bit so that way the kick is baited in between the towers. See how Chet moved up? The water, they all pop their anti-knockback so that they don't move. All right, so now he's going to kick. You see how the boss went right through these? For some reason you can do that. I don't know why. Just don't be around the guy that gets kicked, but you can be in the line for some reason. So right after the kick, the melee towers are going to go off. After the melee towers go off, you can dash back, and there's going to be another set of earth shakers, just like the previous ones. And you can have people plan for this. In the same case, Chet's tower was right here, so he grabbed this one. Box tower was all the way down here, so he grabbed this one. Since Rab baited the kick, he can't take an earth shaker. So Meese is right here. He took the earth shaker. And then after that, that mechanic's over. It's done. This is a tank buster again. Right after the kick into earth shakers, he does a tank buster. So this is far. Okay, so the previous one was near, remember? Because it's far, that means he's going to target the farthest players from him, the 2 farthest players. So in this case, the party is actually going to move inside the boss, and the tanks are going to go max melee. So a tank buster here, tank buster back there. Okay, now this is kind of a weird tank buster, man. This tank buster is a double hit. It targets, I believe, first and second threat. I don't think it targets tanks. It's like threat based. It targets first and second threat, and it's like a hit with a bleed. It's a hard hitting buster, but with also a bleed. But the harder the buster hits you, the harder the bleed hits, I think. So try to mitigate it as best you can. So like 17k tick. I don't know how much it's ticking her for, but it's not near as much as it's ticking me for. I can get in like 2 GCDs before a tick. The way I mitigated it was I mitigated it with equilibrium and blood winning. Now if you notice here in this one, there's towers and there's AoEs. In this part, everybody's gonna get a tether. Okay, again, I'm just gonna tell you what you have to do first, and then I'll explain why later. If you don't care about why you have to do it, that's fine. So you're gonna get tethers, okay? Every player is gonna get a tether, and the tether is gonna be to either an explosion or a tower. The only thing you have to worry about is your tether, okay? So actually, I'm gonna move all this shit off. Let's say you're tethered to this one over here. All you have to do in this is whatever one you're tethered to, line yourself up with it, move clockwise 1 position, and then ask yourself this question. Do you have dark or blue? If you have dark, then you run back. If you have blue, you run across. That's it. That's all you do. The reason why you do that is because the blue tether is like a water explosion around you, and the dark tether hits the magic bulb AoE. This mechanic looks really complicated, but it's super easy. I'll just let the VOD play first so that you can see my movement. And keep in mind, you don't need multiple perspectives. You literally just need one perspective, because every single person in the party does the exact same thing. You line yourself up with the tether, you move clockwise 1 position, and then you ask yourself, am I dark, am I blue? If I'm dark, I'm going back. If I'm blue, I'm going for a swim. Okay, now you don't have to remember that, but that's how I remember it. Swim to the other side, okay? All right, so let's see what I get. All right, let's see. Okay, line myself up, and then I move clockwise 1 position. Now, real fast. Now, if I'm blue, I move clockwise 1 position, and then I go across. However, I don't go all the way across yet, okay? You position yourself around the boss, and here's why. The boss casts Searing Stream here. If you pop your dark tether, you'll give everybody magic ball, and this attack will kill you. So, the order of mechanics is locate your tether, get in front of it, clockwise 1. If you're dark, just stand there for a second. If you're blue, move to the opposite side of the boss from where you are and just wait there for a second. Wait for this ability to go off. This is a magic attack. Take the damage, get hit, then you move out. This is me grabbing a tower. So I grabbed a tower. Okay, now, after you do that, you're gonna pop 4 tethers. The other 4 people are still gonna be tethered. Now, the people that are still tethered here, those are the AoEs. This is why we put the markers like this. So you see how that's 1? Okay, this is the first AoE we're gonna blow up. This is the second AoE. This is the third AoE. This is the 4th AoE. Okay, we're gonna do it in that order. Right after you do your movement, you always go directly south. As you're moving south, if you have a tether, you need to see which tether you have. Is it the first one to blow up, or the second one, or the third one, whatever. So I have the second one. Rab has the first one because he's tethered to that one. You need to blow these up in order. The reason why is because they have an AoE. So, boom. And then you just move clockwise. And you do it again. Now that's me. I run out. Now see, there again, if you're a warrior, you don't lose any uptime. And let me explain why. Because as a warrior, you can do a GCD, run out, and then primal Rin back to the boss without actually losing a GCD. So it's very important to understand the advantages that a warrior brings, okay? This is just another example of why warrior is the best. So then you pop that, then the third one goes off. And then you pop the last one. And that's it, that's the whole mechanic. So, just to recap. When this mechanic goes out, there's 4 towers, 4 AoEs. 4 people will be tethered to towers, 4 people will be tethered to AoEs. You move clockwise once, ask yourself, am I dark, am I blue? If I'm dark, I'm staying there for a second. If I'm blue, I'm going for a swim.
Ugh.
You took our splashes. You took our splashes. Oh my. These guys are stupid, man. Coded too. Yeah. Swear to God, yeah. Like we're not like that. Honestly, that shit. That's just all my bad. They're gonna stop each other. That's just not is up and go out. Ew. Your face. What? Nothing. No, you didn't. Soda. Too. Got it out. Well, goddamn, how can I like this? Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Eat ground. Eat. That's it. You get top one. Ouch! I'll tell you the whole conversation. On Twitter. Alright. Let's hope someone else follows me. Are you still not ready? It's called confidence and steroids. Nice. Cop. Grill. Orb. Stun. Slap. Zine. Stun. Boo. Cares. Lemon. Drop. Their ass. That's just a. Just some flavor. Yeah. Used to be an East player, but he hasn't moved on. I mean, he used to be a professional editor, right? He was gonna be on music, the team that Moose is on. They dropped his contract. He wasn't really a player, he was just an editor. It's really fun. We won 9 out of 10 games today on Team Championship. We got us one. That's just how we heard. That's just how we heard the clones. That's the leader. Oh, that was so soft. Cool. It's just 3 rounds. What's up with now? Let's see who we're next to. 3 gliders. Island only got this. That's it. Hey, purple SMG, purple SMG. Yeah, I'm good. Wanna chase him? Can you go over and close the door? That was such a good play, Retro. Pick it up. Pick it. It gets you whites until it's negative. Minis. And 6 shots. I have the sliding glitch where it's just looks like I'm sliding. That's fun. It's not like a tournament or a program.
No. Yeah, I figured as much.
Oh man. Why don't you just like go here? That's my real question. No, his parents don't like him getting on. They'll support him, you know. Like he gets on for like an hour, his parents say that's too much. No, he gets on for 10 minutes. We're good. Oh, so this is like half losing. None of those taken. Oh. Yeah. That gotcha still be like such a bunch. So how do you do it, bro? They suck at getting mats. Not really. It could be 76. And I might be talking to a little bit, it's not the phone right now. It's not annoying. Alright, come on. Give me the gas. Alright, can you drive? Did we all the chest? There might be one in the water. Yeah, there is. Being popped up. Wooden. That looks unlooted. Yes. 37 teams. That's like 74. Yeah, like mountains. Everyone needs purple AR. What's yours? No. I have a purple thing. Okay, that's it. I know, but it's so stupid. And I don't know how much they are. Like another dot test. It's a purple outfit. I can carry the ranger. Can you carry this? I'm carrying Harpoon against 6 shots. Yeah, I'm already 400. 31. 31 and 24. How much? Change that call back. No, it's not. I can't. Like, no, 71 after the semester. It might be 70. We still have to go. I mapped everything. Exactly 5 out of 5. We're only in 9 field. For the gas, get that early pod. Get another pod actually. 18 right here. That would be a really good spot, I feel like. Right there. They can't technically shoot at us. I mean, they can, but they don't want to. Just slide cancel. If I'm in a quad crash, be careful. Ooh, we can spray that wood wall. Yeah. Oh, I didn't do any damage. Literally nothing. I can shot. I have projects. We can like use these builds. You baiting it, careful. I'm just gonna farm it. Farm that some. I'll just pick out some eats literally everyone. I want to read that. But what are they doing, bro? They can't shoot. I have a metal box right here for use. 2 metal boxes. Yeah. Again, spicy chips can't be playing. Don't use them. I pouch, gotcha. This is ready, John. 50 seconds. I'm gonna repair the wall so they can't spray. Oh, that's so annoying. Not right now. Kids, it's 3:30 are like hard teaching. 54. Yeah, that was just good. Yep. Hard balling. Oh, behind us? Okay. Also in this one. Oh, they're that was right. No. No, don't go in, don't go in. What? It's what? Like, free loot? I'm dropping all my mats and putting them back in. He's a solo, and it's fourth zone. Max is 20 points. 4 minutes from that. Let's make this all hard, actually. Oh, I have so much AR. Fake. I saw 300. I saw 300. What's your max? I'm 5, 3.5, 1.5, 4.5. I'm also max SMG 3. SMG or AR or shotgun? Cracked. What's your AR? Okay. I'm 282. 257 actually. I'm really uncertain now. No, I'm not. Oh, God, I wouldn't pick on that one. That's just a waste. This one. I don't want to just get a. 19. 19 on, like, the cracks. On manic. 20 away. I can't, I'm not. He's healing. This kid's AIs. Crystal's up. Full piece. Other team cracks. Dead. Cracks. 40 white. Dead. 2 dead. Yeah, I killed the whole duo. No, nothing. We just need to go. Yep. Oh my god. I'm one shot. Literally 20 HP. Oh, I'm dead, bro. Maybe you can harpoon my body? I don't know. Just harpoon myself. Break. Harpoon my brick. Such good comms. SMG ammo also if you need. Okay, you can't get any more. Dude, I had 4 chugs, bro. Who did hard showing? I should have probably shot with the storm. That's all on. Yeah, we're just getting hard codes. You're hard killing on max and everything. Don't keep that. You can't spare it. Like that. Yeah. Look for something like that. This kid's gonna open. No, it's like a goal for second. Nice. No, you need to harpoon. Look at his teammate. Go about a wood. Don't shoot at you. Nice finish. You load your AR so you can get more clicks after you can jump. Right there. That's good. Get under you. Harpoon through that maybe? Or just stay next to this one. Go up 2 layers. Nice, you're in a really good layer right now. You might want to drop one. Pop minis. Look for harpoons. Get right there, you can kill him. Go. You have 35 builds. Go back. Go 30 builds. You're 60, you're 70 HP. Almost.
RJ! Go outside!
Crazy. Get all that loot.
RJ!
Get your mats. Nice. You need to grab everything. That's so weird. Yeah, you should probably like have it weapon out. That's fine. That's how it is now. 17 verified, but 29. That's not including the too. So. I'm gonna get some water. That's the fucking next one. Turns too long.
You want chocolate chip? Or chocolate mint? Huh?
Yeah, it's a zip code too. He's not saying can, it's not very good.
Get your ass inside. Come on. Hurry up. RJ, let's go. Back up. Come on. Come on. RJ, let's go. I know my mic is on.
Why are you eating a cake?
Because he's a fat ass?
Make him something to eat?
Of course not. But did mom?
Well, I asked him, he said he doesn't want anything.
What's he doing right now?
Eating cake.
Wonder why.
After I asked him what he wanted.
You can't ask me what I want. This is lemonade and marshmallow. Besides sugar.
can't we just get Spider-Man, man? It's always wrong.
I'm taking a break, man. I just don't feel like playing games right now.